I told him, my friend, you're dealing with a professional. I'm painting all my life. My name is Leonid Feinberg, aka Ludwig Feinberg, also known as Leo Panamsky, also known as Leon Barsky. But actually, my name is Tarzan. 6 years after my documentary movie came out on Netflix by the name of Operation Odessa, which I will explain later why the federal task force called this Operation Odessa. Friend of mine, Anatoly, kind of pushed me into doing the interview that I'm planning to start some episodes telling about my life stories, which are full of danger, fun, interesting situations, unbelievable stories, and believable stories. Let me start with the first one. 1988, I'm moving from New York to Miami, divorcing my third wife, taking my dog, Doberman, by the name Rocky, and driving my Ford Taurus to Miami. In that time, my grandmother lived in Miami. She recently got married. My grandmother was 93 and her husband was 95. Freshly wed couple. For some reason, they didn't go for honeymoon, and I actually didn't understand why my grandma got married to this guy. I anticipated it's one of three. Or she got in love, or because of a green card, or because she got pregnant, but no, probably the third one is not actual. Anyway, I moved with my grandparents in Miami Beach. In that time, it was Meridian and 9th Street, old, beautiful Jewish neighborhood. And after a while, my grandmother's husband started pushing me to look for work. That's what I did. I got Miami Herald, started looking for jobs, and I found some job that they required some Spanish. In that time, I didn't know that Miami is like almost 80% of Spanish language people. And I went and I present myself. They asked me if I know some Spanish. I answered a couple of questions, but basically I knew all the bad words in Spanish because my friends from my childhood, one of them was from Uruguay, some of them were from Argentina, and they taught me, the really good language. Anyway, I got hired. It was such a strange profession. I don't even know how they hired me because probably nobody else came to interview because I was working in a company close to Miami International Airport, and the company was selling parts for the machines, for the presses that were printing newspapers. How often you can find that type of job? Anyway, they hired me. I was very happy. They gave me decent salary, $1,500 a month. And I was a happy dude. I went and I rented a 2-bedroom house in Kendall. In that time, the price was $600 with a pool, beautiful area. And I started going to work. First day, second day, I was learning about the press, about the machine. I learned that in that time, all the newspapers for Nicaragua, San Salvador, Belize, and some other small countries were printed in Miami. And because the presses were machines that were very expensive for those countries. And then every morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, airplanes were flying to those countries, dropping newspapers, similar like we were dropping drugs. Very similar idea. And still don't know what they were dropping, only newspapers. No, but it's there, not there. Yeah. Anyway, I start working and then the owner told me to prepare for the next week. We had some events in the Miami Convention Center. It was a show that people were supposed to come from all different countries, South America, to look or to present our machinery and to offer them that we can print the newspapers for them. Like you imagine, 99.9% of people came Argentina, Peru, Paraguay, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama. Anyway, I couldn't sell a machine. I couldn't even explain nothing. And they fired me after 3 days. of that event. I got very, very upset. I didn't know what to do. I already rented the house. I went back to the gentleman, to that real estate that I rented a house, and I told him, it happened to be an Israeli guy, and I told him, listen, buddy, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I need to give you the house back. I'm not going to be able to afford it. And the guy said, gee, really, the nice house, I want you to have this house. And he asked me, listen, do you know how to paint the apartments, the walls? And I said, what do you mean to paint? Like to paint inside the house, inside the apartment? He said, yeah. I told him, my friend, you're dealing with a professional. I'm painting all my life. That's what I do basically, besides the point that I'm a gangster or whatever. I'm painting all my life. Anyway, the guy telling me, listen, I'm taking for the 3-bedroom apartment. I'm charging the people because he had the real estate and they were managing apartments. And he was painting for the owners. And I told him, he told me, listen, how about that? I would like to steal $500. I'm going to pay you $1,000. Check, can you paint the apartment 3-bedroom for $1,000? I said, okay. He gave me the apartment, gave me the key. First thing what I did, I went to Home Depot in Kendall, paid $25 for the 3-hour course of painting, and I became a painter. Become a painter, a professional painter. And I bought brushes, I bought all the things that I need. I bought paint, 2 5-gallons, off-white paint and everything, and I was ready. I was ready to rock and roll. I got that first apartment. I painted 2 days and 2 nights. I even slept over there in the apartment because I was painting at night. I was so determined. I needed the money, and I want to prove to myself that I can do, and I'm smart enough to know how to paint. Yes, I did few things wrong. I was painting over all the electric switches. Then I was supposed to take them off and wash them with the hot water, which took me a long time. Then few things here and there. After 2 days, I painted the apartment. Anyway, he came to look and he said, apartment is beautiful. He liked it. He liked my job. And I said, wow, that's cool. And I calculated. I made $200 a day. For 2 days, I made $400. I spent $600 on a paint, brushes and everything, and I made $200. And I said, something is wrong. The math is not matching. Something is wrong. And he said, how about I'm going to give you another apartment? I said, great. He gave me another apartment. I already had brushes. I already had some paint. I added, the paint was so thick, so nice. I added a little water. It was more paint. I saved on the paint. Whatever I did, the time-wise, it again took me 2 days, and I painted 3-bedroom apartment. He came, he liked it, I calculated, I made $250 a day, $500 in 2 days. And I said, wow, yes, I was working very hard, many hours, probably 10 hours I was painting, relaxing, laying on the floor, and then again painting. And then I said to myself, you know what, I need to do it 3rd time just to prove it to myself that my calculation is correct. Again, I painted, I made $250. He liked the apartment. He said he has another 10 apartments. After the 3rd time, I questioned myself. If I'm making $250 a day by painting, how come all Americans are not painting? How come every American is not walking with a brush and painting something? $250 a day in 1988. Wow. Next morning, I got up. I went to Chinese restaurant. I met some Chinese guy because I was eating there. He sold me his old pickup truck for $200. I took the pickup truck and I went Calle Ocho, downtown Miami. It was a market that all the workers, I was standing Haitians, Cubans, and all different guys from all different countries. And they were taking $50 a day. No matter what and how many hours, they were taking $50 a day. I went with my pickup truck, I stopped and I said, I need 3 guys for painting. 3 Cuban guys jumped in my car and I drove them to the apartment. I bought them some sandwich, I bought them something to drink, Coca-Cola, gave them brushes, paint, and I went to Miami Beach. In that time, very popular was a news cafe. I was sitting in a news cafe drinking mimosa, champagne with orange juice, and I was telling, I love this country. This country's opportunity. I love this beautiful fucking country. Around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I went back to Kendall. The apartment was finished. I paid my Cuban friends, and I was a happy dude. I made $500 a day. 2 weeks later, I opened a maintenance company called Progressive Maintenance. We were cutting grass, we were painting houses, we were replacing windows. We were doing everything and anything for money. I love this country. I love this country.